Hey guys, so for today's video we are kicking off my 12 days of tutorials with the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. In case you're new here, every December I do a 12 days of tutorials where I post a new tutorial with an older eyeshadow palette that you guys voted for every other day leading up to Christmas. So if you like close-up eyeshadow tutorials, make sure you stick around. So I wanted to kick off my 12 days of tutorials with my favorite palette of 2022. This was also the second most voted for Natasha Denona palette that you guys picked. I do have a couple other tutorials with this palette on my channel as it was my favorite from last year, so if you want some more inspiration with this palette, I will link those down below for you. So if you want to see how I got this smoky, warm-toned matte eye look, go ahead and keep on watching. I went ahead and primed my eyelids with the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I'm going to start with the shade Unity on a fluffy packing brush, and I'm going to start by packing the shade on my lid and bring it all the way up into my crease. I'm packing this shade all over my eye because this is going to be the lightest shade for my smoky eye, and it's going to act as a nice base to layer all the other shadows on top of. Now once most of the product is off the brush, I'm going to start to blend around this edge right here. Now on the same brush, I'm going to take my next deepest shade, which is Carpe Diem, and I'm going to pack this shade all over my lid again, but this time I'm not going to bring it as high as I did with that first color. So as I go deeper and deeper with the shadows, I want the darkest shades closest to my lash line. And this shade is only slightly deeper than Unity, but it's going to start to add some depth to the look. For my next deepest shade, I'm going to switch to a smaller packing brush and I'm going to pick up Invention. And I'm going to pack this shade on the lower part of my lid. And I switched to a smaller brush because, again, I don't want to blend this shade as high up as I did with those first two colors. Once that shade is packed on, I'm going to go back to my first brush and just softly blend around it to make sure these shades are merging nicely together. And if anything starts to look a little patchy or something was blended out too much, I always recommend going back to the previous shade you were using. So in this case, I'm taking a little bit more of that Carpe Diem and just packing that into my crease. And that's really going to help the brown Invention shade blend into the other ones. Now for the lower lash line, I'm going to take more Carpe Diem on the tip of that shader brush, and I'm going to run that across my entire lower lash line. Now I'm going to take a small firm blending brush in the shade Unity again, and I'm going to use that to soften out the lower lash line. Now I'm going to take a little bit of that brown shade Invention on the tip of my shader brush and add that to my lower lash line. Now I'm going to pick up Spontaneous on a pencil brush, and that's going to go in my inner corner and right under my brow for some shimmer. This is really going to help the look pop since it is all matte. All right, I went ahead and finished up this eye look. I did pop on a little bit of this Urban Decay eyeliner in Roach just in my waterline, a tiny bit smudged in between my lower lashes just for like a little more pop of brown, and it has a tiny bit of shimmer in it. And then since this is a pretty smoky eye today, I wanted a very glam lash. This is the Bright Lashes Daydream, and this is my lash brand. This is my favorite fluffy lash at the moment. I just think it's so pretty. And here's a final close-up of the eye look. Here is what the full face looks like all done. For my blush, I used the mini of the Rare Beauty liquid blush in Hope. I have been loving this so much, and I'm so glad that I got it during the Sephora sale. And then on my lips, I'm wearing my Charlotte Tilbury lip liner in Iconic Nude. I just had to sharpen this, and this thing is almost done. I can't wait to finish it. And then I have my Makeup by Mario Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum in Nude Glow on top. This is another item I bought during the Sephora sale, and I am just loving it. I just love how this whole look turned out. I feel like I haven't done a matte warm tone smoky eye in so long. It's kind of giving me 2016 vibes, but I think it looks so pretty. I also just love that I got to play with this palette again since this was my favorite palette of 2022. And don't forget that this is just the beginning of my 12 days of tutorials, so every other day leading up to Christmas I'll be posting a new tutorial with the palette that you guys voted for. So if you like eyeshadow tutorials and you want to see more, make sure you subscribe. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.